with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. I say cloudy for a lot of us, but you move over into Michigan's thumb, John, and we've got a little bit of sunshine out there. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Dent. Hopefully you had a nice Labor Day holiday. John, how about yours?
It was a good one. I got to hang out with some family for a while, which was nice.
Yeah, for a while. Then you were working again.
And I was working yesterday, but the radio world never stops.
It never does, and that's why they call it Labor Day.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what we do. We work. So does Mother Nature. Kind of an interesting weekend for the most part. We were not promising any precipitation other than Saturday afternoon, late, and overnight Saturday night, and that happened. But then unexpected little precipitation, but more in the way of clouds as we went through the entire day on Sunday, as well as yesterday on Monday, except for northern Michigan. They did have a little bit more in the way of sun. So for the folks that did some traveling up north, they had the opportunity to enjoy the sunshine and a very nice Labor Day holiday. Matter of fact, we were talking about precipitation here just a moment ago. Linwood, over the weekend, John picked up 1.3 inches of rain.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
I was really surprised. The airport out at MBS, 66 hundredths of an inch precipitation. But you move over into Michigan's thumb. Well, Bay City had about a half inch, maybe just a little bit more in spots. But the Pigeon area in Michigan's upper thumb, 2/100ths of an inch. Munger had maybe 1/10 of an inch altogether. So you kind of get the idea of where the rain was and where it wasn't. And right now, Michigan's thumb, Bad Axe is reporting sun. Caro has sun. Lapeer has sun. And I think if we get any sunshine in the Great Lakes Bay region overall, it's going to be coming from the east and from the northeast, because that's where our breezes are coming from. Temperature, well, we're going to warm up a little bit. Where are we at right now, John?
I hope we warm up a little bit. It's kind of cool out there right now. Over at the airport, they've got 67. Midland's reporting 68. And here at Radio Center, we're at 70. What are we supposed to get up to today? I saw 78.
At least 75.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a little bit safer bet. But the earlier we get the sun, the quicker it's going to get up to possibly 78. We're going to need a few hours of sunshine to work our way up there.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to have to deal with a northeast breeze right around 10 miles per hour. What are we looking at right now as far as a breeze?
Well, right now we've got north wind at 7 miles an hour. So yeah, I think we're going to be picking up a little bit more of that if what you said is true.
Yeah. We've got a low pressure system off in New York State. It's pretty intense one. And it picked up a lot of intensity over the weekend. And that's the reason why we wound up with all the clouds. That system really built once it moved out of Ohio into Pennsylvania and then eventually into New York State. And it gathered a lot of moisture as we went through the weekend down from the Gulf, pulling it up the East Coast. And I don't know if our listeners have really paid too much attention to what's going on the East Coast right now, but they have quite a bit of flooding occurring in the New England states as well as around New York City, down into Washington, D.C. So that kind of puts everything into perspective, and that's the reason why we saw as much cloudiness as what we did over the weekend, because that low not only intensified, but it drafted a lot of that Gulf moisture up into the East Coast. And with that counterclockwise circulation of air, pulled some of the cooler air and plenty of clouds. Not a lot of moisture, but because it had a lot of land to run over. But the East Coast did pick up quite a bit. It all started really down in Texas, New Mexico, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. They had a lot of rain toward the tail end of the work week last week, and all that activity got rolled up in this low pressure system as it built going through Ohio and then into Pennsylvania. What's going to be happening as we go through the day today? Northeast breeze, more in the way of sun. As John indicated, he thinks maybe about 78. I think at least 75. The quicker we get the sun, the warmer it's going to get. Tonight, 55 for a low, which is average for this time of the year. Those temperatures now are starting to fall off. The afternoon high temperature is normally 77, and the normal low is 55. So today ought to be a fairly normal day, the way things are shaping up right now. Partly cloudy skies. Sun will set this evening at 8:03. So give us a couple more days and we won't even be daylight at 8 o'clock anymore.
Yep.
Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:07. Tomorrow, warmer, sunshine, more in the way of sun. High pressure over Iowa, 80 degrees for a high tomorrow, 53 for a low tomorrow night. Thursday, more in the way of sun, 82 for a high, 60 for a low. Friday will be bouncing back up into the middle 80s, 85, 86, not out of the question. Mostly sunny skies, clear skies Friday night with a low of 62. Then Saturday, middle 80s once again, low 60s. Saturday night, the next best chance of seeing any precipitation. So if you're dry right now, you're going to be drier as we go through the next several days. Best chance of rain, again, is going to be late Saturday night, spilling over into the day on Sunday. Sunday's high because the cold front's going to move through. We'll see middle 70s for a high on Sunday. Same thing, only a little bit cooler on Monday. Chance of a shower or two on Monday. I think, though, the best chance of any measurable amount of rain is going to be Saturday night and into at least the morning hours on Sunday. Long-range outlook to take us all the way through the 19th of the month. I'll give you two guesses.
All right. Let me look in my crystal ball here.
Here we go.
Slightly above average temperatures.
Okay.
Below average precipitation.
You got it.
There it is.
You're good.
I was wondering, though, what's our average precipitation look like for this time of year?
We should, in the month of September, average right around 2.8 inches.
Okay.
Out at MBS International Airport. We've had some Lollapalooza Septembers.
Yeah.
And I think the one that stands out for a lot of people was 1986. And out at the airport officially in 1986, altogether, the month of September, they had in their rain gauge over 13 inches of rain.
Was the airport underwater?
No, they were still. Actually, I think it was either the 10th or the 11th or maybe both, where a lot of flight delays did occur on the in September of 86, because at those 2 days, we picked up close to 12 inches of rain over those 2 days. Matter of fact, the decade of the 80s is one of the wettest decades on record for us in the Great Lakes Bay area for precipitation. That goes way back to before records were kept. So 86 was an extremely wet month. Thank goodness they said at that time it was a 100-year flood. We don't ever want to see that again.
Yeah, no.
That was a real, and it wasn't just isolated. We've had some isolated heavy downpour rains in September, but nothing of the magnitude of 86. It literally covered the southern 2/3 of the Lower Peninsula. That's how huge that system was and how wet it was and how much flooding there was. That was a disaster.
My goodness.
Of major degrees. Record high in the state, 93, set back in 1933. Yeah, the decade of the 30s continues as far as record-breaking heat. Here we're in September and we're still looking at record highs from the 30s. Record low in this state is 38, and that was set back in 1962. So, we've had some real interesting record lows in the month of September as well. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Rick Hollister from the Andersons is standing by. You think he can keep the ball rolling a little bit, John?
Let's hope so. Let's kick off this week with some good news. Let's hope.
Okay, maybe he can pick a contractor too.
Could be.
All right. He comes along in just a moment. But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. We mentioned, John, the fact that we're going to be out and about this coming Friday. We're going to be in Gagetown at the Thumb Octagon Barn. They're celebrating their family fall days at the Octagon Barn, the 10th and the 11th. Our broadcast brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. 800-234-3280 or go to their website at steinertractor.com. Part of the activities going on at the Octagon Barn will include a big old antique tractor parade. So busy time. If you want more information on it, all you got to do is go to thumboctagonbarn.org and find out all the information. Rick Hollister, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks. Nice long weekend and pretty decent weather. We missed all the rain where I'm at, south of 94 in Michigan, southern tier counties. But and we actually have turned up a little bit dry, but we're not complaining. We had rain in July that other folks didn't get in Michigan here this summer, so our crops look pretty well. But the beans are sure starting to turn across the state. A lot of yellow showing up out in the bean fields as I drove north this morning.
I'm taking a look at the markets, and boy, I wished we could have kept those markets going like they were on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it just feels like we're going to lay out here choppy a little bit, Terry, for a while, and see what new news keeps coming along. We're looking for more export news, and it's few and far between, hard to come by. So the lack of exports for our new crop export sales is becoming more and more of a problem, more and more of an issue. We know that the currency values in South America have deteriorated sharply. At the same time, when the U.S. dollar has gotten stronger here for the last month again, and boy, that does not help our export prospects to be able to sell grain to those that need it. It makes South American grain much cheaper if they can wait till another South American harvest comes along. And they are projecting in Brazil, the official forecasters, ag forecasters in Brazil are just forecasting a huge soybean crop for Brazil this year. Their official forecasts are larger bean crop than they've ever raised before. So that kind of looms out there ahead today. At the moment, corn and wheat are trying to be a little bit higher. Corn's up 4 or 5 cents. Wheat was just lower a couple of cents here a minute ago. Now we're up a couple of cents. So a little choppy in the feed grains. Soybeans decidedly down 15 to 20 cents here most of the day. Soybean oil weakness is really a problem. Soybean meal is actually down as well. So the two products together that we make out of soybeans hurting the soybean cause, and part of that comes back to the exports or the availability of vegetable oils, around the world. Unlike we've saw for the last 10 or 12 months, has really made a difference here. Crude oil started a little bit higher last night, traded lower. It was down for a while. That didn't help the soybean oil and the soybean cause either. So right now we've got the crude oil or the oil energy complex back to about even, except natural gas continues to peel off from its highs. The natural gas kind of scratched a higher high than it had been for a long time, or really back even higher than some of the spring trade that we saw in natural gas, and has now kind of backed away the last few days. So that's the good news as far as red markets go. I think that's the good news for most of us. But yeah, struggling to keep soybeans in the green here, and corn and wheat trying to stay there for today.
So right now on the board, what do you have, Rick?
Yep. Right now, corn for September delivery to Hemlock, we're at 643. For October, November delivery, 613. January is 639. Soybeans for September delivery here at 1497. October, November delivery, the new crop at 1342. January 1362. Old crop red wheat 726. New crop red at 786. Old crop white wheat 741, new crop white wheat at 786 also.
Sounds like your wife wants to remind you bread and milk, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
Right.
Rick, have a good one, okay?
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Rick Hollister over at the Andersons. John, who's up next?
We're going to hop on over to Oppenheimer, where Doug Klein is standing by. Our market report brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 1500, 2500, or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. They are the Great Lakes Bay certified ag dealer, and they specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans. Ordering is the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by the folks at Thumb Bank. They've been serving agriculture for over 125 years, and they have 2 locations in Bay City. Also, Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and recently in Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Now Doug Klein kicks off our week over at Oppenheimer. Doug, good morning.
Good morning.
What do we got there, Doug?
Just kind of moderately mixed. Xi shut down that one big city for COVID, and we don't even know if it's true or not. If it's not true, it's just another round of, weaponizing COVID, which we've had enough of, I think. So that's the negative side of it, and the dollar's much stronger. It's cleared 110. That's the highest it's been in a very, very long time. And with interest rates climbing here, that's going to continue, which is a big problem. So we need to get the Fed to back off just a little bit. We don't need a depression to add on to our current state of depression. So let's all let him know not to go too aggressive with interest rates. It hurts us. So here's your numbers. September corn is 673, up 4 cents. The December corn 668 and a quarter, up 2.5. And the September of 23 corn 628 and a half, up 3/4 of a penny. The November soybeans 1396 and 3/4, down 23 and 3/4. The March soybeans 1404 and a quarter, down 23 and 3/4. And November of 23 soybeans 1334 and 3/4, down 15 and a quarter. The September wheat is 794 and a quarter, up 1 and a quarter. December wheat 809 and a half, down 1.5. And July of 23 wheat is 835 and 3/4, down 2 and 3/4. Crude oil is kind of maybe settling where it wants to find support. Maybe it's trading at 87.31, up 44 cents. The heating oil is at 360.13, up 2.25 cents, and gasoline is 247.59. That's up 1.25 cents. And I did see a report that said that gasoline should end up under $3 a gallon fairly soon. So we'll see if they predict correctly. Hopefully so. Natural gas is at 8.51 and a quarter. That's down 33.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. The dollar buys you 131.19 at the border, currently down 22 ticks. The yen is way down, so the U.S. dollar buys you 142.89. That's up 230 ticks. That's huge. The euro's at 99.12, again under par, down 14 ticks, and the dollar at 110.19. That's up 65.5 ticks. Gold's at 1701.10, down $8.70. Silver's 1809, up 31.5 cents. Platinum's at 833.40. It's up $15.10.
Doug, you have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. When we return, Eric Sawatsky will be joining us from Yo and Yo and a whole lot more. But first, this.
Soil prep for next year begins as soon as the harvest is over. Don't miss out on nutrients you can return to your soil. Applying a Dairy Dew compost blend accelerates the conversion of crop stubble into next year's plant food. That remaining plant material is full of nutrients that you want to return to the soil. Dairy Dew blends from Morgan Composting, like K2, Gypsum Plus, and Layer Ash Blend with Gypsum, helps with decomposition, releasing those nutrients for next year's crops while also adding good biology and other missing nutrients to your soil. Like a lot of things right now, supplies are limited, so contact Morgan Composting to place your order for fall and lock in your price now. Crops don't wait. The seasons don't wait. You shouldn't wait. Address soil health now for better yields next year. Not sure which is the best Dairy Dew compost blend for your fields? Contact a soil health expert at Morgan Composting for a consultation and soil testing. Call today or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Ellen's Equipment, your authorized Doosan dealer, is stocked and ready to serve with Doosan parts, sales, and service. Doosan Heavy Equipment delivers powerful, reliable solutions that'll help you work efficiently and profitably. Stop by one of Ellen's Equipment locations for information about Doosan's world-class service and support, including great low-fare financing options and Doosan Protection Plus extended warranty plans. Ask about current leasing programs available from Ellen's Equipment, the quality you expect with the service you deserve.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, and they are hosting a Producer Day event. This is going to be in Kingston on September the 15th. For more information, just go to their Facebook page and get all the information. It's going to be in Kingston at the Biagio's Hall in Kingston. So 9:30 is when it starts. For more information, as I said, just get a hold of Jeff over at Quality Roasting or go to their Facebook and reserve your chair. We have Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo on the line right now. Eric, we've been talking a lot about that inflation reduction bill and all the stuff that has nothing to do with inflation. What's going on today?
Yeah, so Terry, I've been getting a lot of questions about some of the green energy incentives that were added to this bill. So provide you a little more detail on that today. One of the questions that come up especially are on the electric vehicles. There are some tax credits built into this bill. There's a $4,000 tax credit for purchase of used electric vehicles, and it's $7,500 tax credit for new ones that are being assembled in the U.S. This would apply to trucks, vans, SUVs. The price has to be under $80,000 for those vehicles, or $55,000 for cars. But there are going to be some limitations, and it actually is going to be a lot more limiting than you would think. So one, the taxpayer's income total for a married couple can't be over $300,000, or you're ineligible for the credit completely. And then many of these vehicles that are on the market, because like I mentioned, used vehicles qualify, but about 70% of the vehicles currently on the market do not qualify for the credit. And that's because in the bill, they basically said if it's not being assembled here in the U.S., it's not going to be eligible. And that's only about 30% of those EVs that are currently on the market. So there's definitely limitations on what vehicles and income limits and other things you're going to run into.
So it's really a good idea to get a hold of someone like yourself to find out all the ins and outs of what this thing is going to qualify for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are incentives for the vehicles, and you're going to want to look at your particular tax situation. They also have energy rebates for rooftop solar and water heaters and heat pumps and things like that in your home. So, definitely reach out to someone who knows.
Definitely. Eric, you take care. Have a good day, all right?
You too, Terry.
I will. Eric Sawatsky at Yo and Yo. Let's slide over to Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, we talk about harvest this time of the year, but we also talk about hunting. Now, for property owners, what should we be aware of right now?
Right, Terry. We've got the harvest and the hunting, the two H's ramping up real soon here. So getting questions about, folks are getting questioned by hunters asking if they can lease their land. And yeah, that's fine. Just let your insurance agent know. Sometimes there's little riders or endorsements to put on your farm policy, but also check with the person that's renting. Make sure they've got their own personal liability coverage in place. And also, if possible, have them name you on their policy. That way, if something goes wrong, their policy responds first and yours becomes second in line. So that way you're not the primary person involved.
Good advice. Craig, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
We're trying, Terry. You too.
All righty. Sure will. You take care. Steve Anderson joining me right now from Baird & Company. Steve, New York. What are we looking at right now?
Well, we're looking at a little bit of a mixed market. The indices are up, though. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 69.70 points at 31,387 on volume of 354 million shares. The Nasdaq's ahead by 18 at 11,468 on volume of 405 million shares. Locally, Caterpillar 181.66 up 83, Deere 361 even down 122, CMS 67.84 up 70, Dow 49.16 down 15, DuPont 54.94 up 18, Corteva 60.82 down 42, GM 38.94 up 47, Trinzio 25.93 up 39, Walmart 132.73 down 27, Home Depot 292.14 up 24, Huntington Banks 13.21 up 11, and AT&T is down by a quarter at 16.94. I almost worked it out so it was every other one, didn't I?
You tried. Steve, thanks a lot. You have a good day,
welcome.
okay?
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
All righty. We'll be right back.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
The dry bean variety research plot tour continues this evening at 6 at Schindler Farms on 7 Mile Road in Bay County. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios,